don't even want, I think it's time to move on.
I think we're hitting the bricks.
Yes, it's time to hit the bricks.
Oh my gosh.
It's our last, I think, last 30 minutes.
Oh,
so we'll talk about glucosamine, chondroitin, briefly. Then we'll speak about Ultimate Friendly Flora briefly. Okay. Because we've been meaning to speak about Ultimate Friendly Flora yesterday, but we didn't have time. Okay. And you're crying too. And then we'll talk about the Secure briefly, which we just are. We have a few hundred left in all the sizes, and it'll probably start selling out because it continues until midnight. It'll probably start selling out the different sizes over the next couple of hours. So, but glucosamine, chondroitin. Important product this time of year. I've been taking this every day for literally almost 37 years, for as long as I've been making vitamins. So the reason why, and when I played sports when I was young, and my parents were very upset that I played football and things like that. They told me that I would be not, when I was the age I am now or even younger, that I wouldn't be walking anymore because it could be very tough on your joints. That I appreciated what they said, and I've always taken very good care of my joints, because for me, being able to go out and run trails and to be able to mountain bike, it's something I treasure. I work too much, I work too hard, so exercise is important. Being able to get around and move around is important for all of us. It's being able to go out and enjoy time with your family, being able to travel and have great holidays and things like that. Whatever it is, being able to go to work and do things that are stimulating requires our mobility and activity. Being able to simply do things with our hands requires that our joints work well. We all work on keyboards and things now to an extent that never. The manual dexterity that's required for an 80-year-old is just incredible now, because we have cell phones and keyboards and things like that. So glucosamine and chondroitin, structural molecules. These are not drugs that work on your joints. These are molecules that make up your joints. The clinical studies on glucosamine and chondroitin, and there's been dozens and dozens and dozens of studies. These are ingredients that, as far as I'm concerned, the first line of defense, and I'm actually quoting the studies now, the first line of defense in terms of natural joint protection.
I want to show you something too, because one of the things about these ingredients are expensive ingredients.
Oh, this is like, we normally do a today's special in January, but we're only having 2 visits, so we're doing Secure this weekend. Next weekend, we're doing circulation vein support for healthy legs. So what I've done is I've taken our today's special pricing on glucosamine, chondroitin, and we'll have it tonight, and we'll have it for 1 or 2 airings next weekend. Wow. So we're basically still offering the today's special.
These are not inexpensive ingredients. So look at, normally $223.48, exactly. $89.90 just for January, just for our New Year's visit, and $133.50 is the savings. All the savings huge, no matter, I mean, in each instance you're saving way more than you are spending, no matter which size you're deciding on here. The key to this is that, first of all, a lot of us take this product and love this product. I've been taking it for years. I'm like Andrew. When I was younger, I was very athletic, and I had an accident, a springboard diving accident. I hurt my back. I've been at chiropractors for years, for decades. And my chiropractor has told me that I have to take these products. And when I take them, I notice such an amazing difference. You will notice a difference. If your joints are giving you trouble, and you know if your joints are giving you trouble, whether it be your shoulders, your elbows, your knees, your hip joints, your back, your neck. I mean, think of all the joints, your fingers, your elbows, everything. All the joints in your body. This goes to help support the health of your joints. It is amazing to me when I run out, or if I don't take it, how a week later, I get my aches back again. It's so crazy how much this really helps and how much this really works.
And there's a lot of botanical products that people talk about, whether it's turmeric, which we have an exceptional turmeric product, or ginger extract. But those are ingredients that are more for soothing roles in terms of your joints. What glucosamine and chondroitin specifically focus, and there are just some great studies published recently, what they specifically focus on is structural. So we know that the role of calcium and magnesium that they play for our bones, that's analogous to the role that glucosamine and chondroitin play with our joints. So I was going to read just some studies here, or just a quote here on some of the research. If you look at this chart here, that more than 19,500 papers have been published on glucosamine. Jeez. More than 17,000 papers have been published on chondroitin. More than 1,200 papers have been published on both used together. Combined, more than 2,600 clinical trials, meta-analyses, and systematic reviews have also been published. I don't think there's a single drug on the market that probably has 10% of that kind of publication or research behind it. So glucosamine and chondroitin are very, very important because they really are the only approach that I'm aware of that has that body of science, that body of research behind it. I wish I could give you a long list of ingredients that could help support the health of your joints. And as I mentioned before, certainly there's great research on turmeric, there's great research on ginger extract. We make both of those, but those again play more of a soothing role in terms of our joints. If you're looking at something in terms of supporting, maintaining, promoting the regeneration, the repair process, which is a normal, natural process that our joints must undergo all the time. I'm active. I exercise virtually every single day. And even when I don't exercise, my goal on my little activity monitor, my goal is to do a minimum of 15 to 20,000 steps every day.
Wow.
And then I'll still do my bike and other things on top of that. So I'm someone who's very active. And with that activity, I think it's just reasonable for my joints to expect that I'm going to give them something to support them. If I'm going to demand or I'm going to expect that they're going to support me in being that active, then I'm going to have to do something in return. And I think all of us end up in life in one way or another. We tend to say, if I knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of my joints, my heart, whatever it might be. And our joints, I think, are one of the most typical ones, and that's why, for me, the thing I need to do more, one of my resolutions this year, is doing more yoga and stretching. I'm really great when it comes to going out on my bike or going out for a run or doing all of that. But in terms of stretching and yoga, and as you get older and the more active you are, your muscles tend to get tighter, shorter, your joints more restricted, so it's very important that I do yoga and stretching. But again, it's a recognition that with the kind of demands, with the requirements, with my expectation of being active and trying to hold on to that youthful activity or vitality, I need to give something back. So when it comes to our joints, the first line of defense is glucosamine and is chondroitin.
And if you read some of the reviews, and there are, about 1,000 positive reviews on hsn.com, what a lot of people talk about is the fact that they've tried other glucosamine products and did not get results. I think it's really important that we establish the fact that this is unique. This is not every other glucosamine product is like this product. It really, truly makes a difference.
Most of them aren't.
They are not. You're going to notice a difference when you take this. You're going to feel a difference because if your joints are acting up. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They let us know when they are unhappy. And when your joints are feeling good, you are feeling good. You are feeling better. And this is a product that you will absolutely notice a difference when you take it. And that's what's so impressive about these reviews, is that these are people that are truly experiencing a difference when they take it, and they can feel that difference.
And for a lot of people, I mean, this is not a treatment for pain or inflammation or anything like that. And for a lot of us, we feel good. I mean, I feel good almost all the time. But I think that feeling good all the time is as a result of my taking care of myself. So I don't take glucosamine and chondroitin as a cure, treatment, or anything in terms for pain or inflammation. I take it because I want to maintain my joints, because I know I'm placing demands on my joints. So I leave the pain treatment to those non-steroidal and anti-inflammatory drugs and all the side effects that go with them. I try to avoid taking medications, and the way I try to avoid taking medications is by taking very good care of myself. And I just was going to read some of the reviews here. And also, of course, with glucosamine and chondroitin, one of the things we were talking about with Secure is being overweight and things like that, overweight and obesity. One of the consequences of overweight and obesity is just a tremendously increased burden on our joints. Yep. I mean, it destroys ankles and knees and hips. So a lot of joint replacements in our society now are directly related to obesity and overweight. Not activity, not overuse, but really to overweight and the overuse that comes from overweight. But from the Journal of Family Physician, a combination of glucosamine and chondroitin should be considered viable first-line joint support nutrients. Be sure to tell patients, this is written for doctors, be sure to tell patients to purchase glucosamine sulfate, which is what we have, not glucosamine hydrochloride. The most common form you see in stores is glucosamine hydrochloride because it's much cheaper, but it's not the subject of the research and the science. From the American Family Physician, unlike many supplements that reach the market completely untested in clinical trials, glucosamine has been the subject subject of considerable research. Glucosamine is available in multiple forms. The most common are glucosamine hydrochloride and glucosamine sulfate. As the prior quote just said, you want the sulfate, not the hydrochloride. From current concepts, the hydrochloride salt of glucosamine is a common glucosamine product, yet it has received relatively little attention from researchers. That's because it's been shown to be less effective. Glucosamine sulfate is one of the most studied dietary supplements available today. Wow. In the last 30 years, many trials have been conducted and published on the effects of glucosamine on the signs and symptoms of osteoarthritis. Wow. American Journal of Natural Medicine, detailed studies conducted by the World Health Organization have shown that sulfur is an extremely important component in the therapeutic effect of glucosamine sulfate. The textbook of natural medicine, research has shown that sulfur is an extremely important component of glucosamine sulfate, and its substitution is likely to decrease the efficacy of the supplemental glucosamine. From the Cleveland Clinic Journal of Medicine, this will be the last one. Most clinical trials of glucosamine supplementation have used glucosamine sulfate because it is well absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract. However, many of the products sold in the United States, in fact most, contain glucosamine hydrochloride, a compound about which there is considerably less information. Results with glucosamine sulfate may not apply to glucosamine hydrochloride, and that is why there are so many reviews that talk about using someone else's product and then coming to ours and seeing the benefits. So again, this is a product that has fantastic reviews. I think the reviews are roughly, what, 4.5 or 4.6 stars?
4.6 average, yes.
4.6 average, so that means it's roughly 90% positive reviews. Yep. So opportunity to see a difference, feel a difference, or 30-day money-back guarantee. You can send it back.
Before we go, I want to show you one more time. The value is huge here.
Today's special savings,
Look at
absolutely.
That, 61, 22, 40, or the big 480, and you can see you're saving more than you're spending on whichever size you'd like. Perfect time to stock up.
This was originally going to be a Today's Special in January, so what I did is I kept the Today's Special pricing. We'll air it once this weekend. We'll air it once or twice next weekend. So even though it wasn't a Today's Special, you still got all of the savings.
Is this the first time you didn't talk about it earlier today?
This is the first time.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Already over 3,000 people have ordered. So a lot of us are stocking up. So if you'd like yours, it's waiting here. But we have a couple more things we want to tell you about, including the Ultimate Friendly